Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixel Riffs. Our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. And now the Royal Cabinet has been formed. We eagerly await the arrival of the Royal Wardrobe, the Royal Bookshelf, the Royal Welsh Dresser, and the Royal Bidet.
We are out of diamonds, everybody. We're out.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, the coffers are empty.
Why?
We'll be going over the dirty laundry of the king in a special segment for the week, so no spoilers or intel for now. Let's just take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. We'll start with Azumavoid, who is for now the only person contributing to the charity minigame district Scar mentioned last week. X installs two smaller games, one more mysterious than the other. So much so we're not entirely sure what it's supposed to be, and he's not telling either.
I'm gonna forego an explanation. I plan on getting together with some of the other hermits, teaching them how to play Hammer. I think this is going to work best when everyone knows how to play and we can explain it to our audiences in our own way.
The other one is pretty straightforward, actually. Straightforwardly upwards, I mean. The idea is to place a pillar of scaffolding in the middle of the arena, break it, and let 2 to 4 players run around, competing on who's going to pick up more of the collapsing blocks.
Now, I'm hoping
get
neither of you actually had some scaffolding in your inventory. That would have been a mistake.
I thought we were supposed to rebuild it.
Oh, I might have already had some.
This one sports a surprising amount of redstone, actually, since the arena has a confirmation mechanism for how many players have assumed their positions. Now, a surprising amount of redstone is a good way to describe Corrales' week, though the amount in his case would be any. Really, iron golem farms don't take much redstone generally, but Corrales just had to stealth his one into a metallurgical butt hanging over a molten lava tub. So even if the actual rates won't be much, the farm is by definition outputting a buttload.
I can just watch this the whole day.
Wait, did I miss?
Hey!
While Rendog is reinventing the laws, XP Crafted and Corrales draw up new rules of their own for Aber caving, which needs a bit of an update now there's deep slate ores, some of the stone ores are more rare, etc, etc.
You know what I think it was?
What?
You just smelled the good life outside doing videos. And you just left me all alone on the server.
That is
Just
definitely
enjoying
not
the
it.
good.
The one rule abides, the winner takes it all. But in a friendly competition, XP is more than happy to share the wealth, even if he's a little coy about where he found it.
No way.
Oops.
Have you done
Total
that?
accident. What are the odds?
You are so cute. So splitting it. I will start first. I'm gonna take the diamonds, like so. Your pick.
That's not splitting.
When it comes time to show down, XP accidentally combines their stuff and they split the resources 50-50. So you'll have to go back and frame by frame their episodes yourselves if you want to see who actually won.
Watching the footage again, I might have won this fair and square.
If they really wanted a verdict, they could have got hold of Aber Caving's creator, but Vintage Beef is knees deep in his latest creation. The server's very own trading card game adds Iskel and Joe Hills to the roster this week, with the latter even turning up to roll his own stats.
Yeah, okay. I'm feeling better about that 270 then. And then what do you got there, Beef?
This is where the bad news comes in.
30 primary
Your
attack.
30 primary attack. There's a few people
Wow.
with 30, like Jevin has 30 here.
Yeah, but like getting lumped in with Jevin is always a high point of my day. Let me tell you.
Beef's workflow is helped further by commissioning Pearlescent Moon's Shulkerbox cleaning service to organise his inventory at the Map Art Gallery. And organise she does, colourful labels and all. Unlike some other people we could name, Beef is quick to pay the bill, which was a bad time to discover the king has replaced all his profits with royal emeralds.
No diamonds, just royal emeralds. What do I do with those? I have to find out what to do with those. They've got to be redeemable for something, right? Well, I don't like this. You know, I'm starting to think this whole king idea was terrible.
It's fortunate that Stress Monster is rolling in emeralds of her own because she's a little behind on keeping up with the glass shop stock. Luckily, False Symmetry is in town, helping Stress clear some of the dark oak forest so she can take her Halloween build house to the next level. And the next level is added, to the facade of the house at least, when Stress adds an upper story, planning to expand it even further as we roll into October. And once False has cleared the tree line, she can introduce Stress to the glass shop's new premises in the official shopping district.
If you get more sales now, hopefully, being more central.
Yeah.
Don't forget that no king sign as well.
Yeah, definitely. We need to add that. Not his number 1 fan. We'll say that.
All right.
Might be his number 2 fan, but not his number 1 fan. That's for sure.
In a similar spirit, Ijevin adds jump scare mechanics to Zombie Cleo's Atlantis Risen base. He successfully repossesses a couple Elder Guardians from the nearby monument into Cleo's own base, and that comes with not just a healthy supply of sponge, but also the utter inability to break blocks within the area.
Unfortunately, again, we lost one of our Guardians. It happens. So there's 2 Guardians there and 4 total spaces. So we have 2 decoys as well.
His own base, Jevin populates with a much neater pest. In the glass ceiling of the storage room, he assembles a small mossy sanctuary for a few allays. Them holding lamps helps with the ambience as long as he has dynamic lights on in his settings. But maybe if he just used them for item sorting instead, he wouldn't have to rake up a sizable bill for Pearlescent Moon. She agreed to clean up and deploy his shulker pile into the freshly made storage system, and sure did, leaving only a fresh scent of pine and a hole in the monthly budget.
So here's the thing, right? I'm incredibly lazy at sorting, and I don't want to ever do it. So you could have charged me 50 diamonds an hour, and I would have been like, okay.
Apparently has diamonds in it.
I own the rocket shop, and I'm the only rocket shop on the server. Every time I go over there, I just get so many diamonds.
Grian has had a hole ripped in him as well. It turns out Doc M sent him way more charged creepers than he killed a few months ago.
Oh, I did not know. I think we just found our creeper for our content. Okay, the clock is ticking to try and get my stuff back.
A couple even come in handy when Grumbot outputs him a combo of Scar, Creeper, and Bait. Grian puts a charged Creeper encounter at the end of Scar's Hot Guy training obstacle course, but surprisingly the explosion deals 0 damage.
6-pack, boom. 9-pack, 12-pack, 16-pack. Tom Cruise, bam, boom.
Don't forget the targets. 1, 2,
That was really fun.
3. Now over the finish line.
Oh,
Yay!
Enter
Right.
the Hawkeye lair for your final
The
task.
final task. Turn around, Scar.
Even less damage happens when the AI convinces him to make Gemini Tay duel a frog. Despite extensive Rocky training montages, Gem kind of annihilates the thing.
Ding, ding, ding. He's leaving!
Chip! No, Chip!
Yeet.
He put up a good fight.
There's more to Grian's week of trying not to join in the political mess that the server's rule has become, but really here we'd like to quickly focus on something we've been skipping over, his base progress. It's hard to report on the gradual changes Dwayne the Base Johnson is getting because they are by their nature gradual, and there's only so many times we can say added more house. Rest assured the architecture is slowly spreading over the surface of the floating boulder, and it's really pretty. We just focus on his shenanigans because they're more fun to riff about. Still, our bet is this is the last time we're seeing Grian on this side of the King Stuff title card. Speaking of which, welcome to a segment which, after last week's fiasco, we are tentatively titling House of the Dog Wren, and we're still accepting suggestions in the comments. As expected from the pen of George Wren Martin, it's been a tough week for the king. After discovering a party in his basement, he calls a meeting of the Royal Council to discuss A, the main enemies of the crown, which are mostly of the crown's own making, B, the financial situation, which is mostly that there isn't any, and C through F, whether the council themselves can be trusted. Each of these royal appointments gets a royal appointment where they are asked to prove their loyalty, the details of which will play out over the course of this script.
And today we meet under dire circumstances.
Oh no.
Sounds pretty bad.
I hate to see you like this.
What?
Yeah.
In the meantime, Ren actually starts taxing people, replacing many of the diamond profits of shopping district stores with royal emeralds TM, and issuing another royal decree, thou shalt not party. So bad luck to whomsoever's birthday was coming up next.
Nobody was there, right? None of you were at the party. You don't know what happened there?
No, I heard it was like 12
I will
Azumas.
Hawkeye
12
anyone at that
Azumas.
party.
Okay, all right. Hashtag blame 12 Azumas then.
Perhaps the most pointed tribute of the bunch is Good Times with Scar, bringing Rendog the head of the resistance leader. Impulse respawns fine, so it isn't a big deal, but it's pretty metal how Ren keeps it as a coaster.
All right, I'm here to discuss my salary.
That's not how this works.
Yes.
In exchange for his loyalty, Scar the Hot Guy receives a blanket license to kill, which enables him to track down a few people from the Azuma Void Festival. Not that anything has been stopping him before, mind you.
So I'm
Not
thinking
quite.
about 10 diamonds a week. I also would like some vacation time and free for all to kill any and all people, except the king and the royal court, of course.
Okay, I can grant that one.
Stop me. starting a resistance.
Well, Grin, as your therapist, there is only one cure to this.
Oh, do it!
Scar also promises to stock Gigapies at the Elven Cookie Shop, so I guess that'd be the extra stale and crunchy ones. Maybe he just doesn't care as much about his old business as the newer endeavour with the Wonder Park base. This time Scar adds an automated announcement system that sounds off the opening and closing of the place during the morning and evening. The custom speeches are put on record discs and played across the park depending on the mood of the daylight sensors, making sure that no matter the political state of the server, at least here his voice will always be heard. A bit of a head scratcher then is hunting down Cubfan, who for sure went to the Let's Steal Stuff party, but is also on the Royal School Board. Swearing his loyalty to Ren, Cub promises the gift of magic, but mostly the gift of infinite netherite, but then also follows what the Beastie Boys preach and actively fights for his right to party.
You don't tell me what to do, King. I'll party when I want to. I'm partying everywhere, man. Can't stop that.
As such, Cub deploys the party parrots in the throne chamber to try and footloose Ren into maybe reconsidering. Something Cub may have to reconsider himself, though, is that he added witches into the walls of the Total Chaos minigame. Of all the things that could be made more deadly, Total Chaos really needed it the least. Zombie Cleo, in the meantime, is too busy unpacking her 4D chess set to act so blatantly. All the while the subordinates are gathered outside the throne room, she slides them the thought of playing this court for all it's worth, and maybe skim some actual diamonds instead of the royal emeralds the king is paying them.
But he's already calculated he's going to give us salary.
He's got a plan, certainly. Yeah.
He's got a plan.
Really?
Yeah. We'll get paid somehow.
Do you really think he's got a plan? Come on.
Her loyalty present is the 2 seahorse statues she installs up front the castle to spice up the long stairway leading up to the entrance. Maybe coming out with more effort, but way less bound than the guy who promised infinite netherite. Joke's on her, she has a base she can't break blocks in.
Jeez. Yeah. She's very talkative. Yes.
I see how this goes. Very well. I shall make short work of you and your business. We need more diamonds just so we can get diamonds.
I'm just saying the shot is still open to the king right now from this point.
Oh, it is, right?
Joe Hills learns that your friendly neighborhood Medusa doesn't just turn people into statues, she also turns air into glass, as long as you provide the glass and she has a couple of hours to spare.
54 times 6. So I think like 27,162.
That is more than I anticipated. But you know what? I've placed more blocks than that in my lifetime. Okay, this is a lot of glass.
His other glasses were provided by Rendog, and while it's fun seeing the world through diamond-tinted spectacles, the outcome is a lot less rosy. Once the king has unpacked his current burdens, Joe's loyalty test results in him pledging to include the king in his pinball machine, which he does along with a drug PSA. At least the king's sending the right message.
Well, over the course of the night, I managed to get those glasses knocked out, but I'm realizing I don't love them. I'm thinking maybe we should use teal glass. So I ran back to Cleo's shop, traded another emerald in, and I guess I'm gonna just fly wildly toward this thing until we get it this time.
Iskal's interview doesn't start so great.
You are here today to pledge your loyalty to this here throne and to prove that thine self will be loyal. That is.
I don't mean to sound like an idiot, but what does thine mean? I'm Swedish.
Good question. Good question.
But he isn't sure about the whole king thing anyway, having a hard time trusting anyone with this much diorite in his castle. When a pledge to remove it isn't quite to the king's liking, he promises to dedicate himself to distributing gigapies, and this situation goes over a little better. Shutting down the carrot shop, Iskal doesn't just create a new Gigapie shop, he creates an immersive Gigapie experience, because yes, you have to dig down into a giant pie, using some carefully worn tools, in the hope of finding a shulker box which might contain a jackpot prize. The other prizes are, pieses.
Can you dig from underneath, though?
No. But Keralis, it's not done yet. There's no rule booth. Where are the tools? There's nothing here. It opens Saturday evening, our time.
The biggest slice of the royal pie is in the hands of BOO, especially since he got early access to the royal currency. What he uses that for is more questionable, and False Symmetry has a lot of questions, because B-Dubs turns up at her doorstep with Keralis and Scar, also he can knight her using the dare stick.
Wow, that's intimidating.
Right, that's why do you think I asked you to come here? So the dare is, you will ride this horse from place to place. Take it, give it a...
Okay.
Her noble steed is the horse bequeathed to B-Dubs by Etho, and it is now her replacement Elytra. B-Dubs challenges her to ride the ironically named Speedy Supreme everywhere, until she either bops someone else with the dare stick, or sells the horse for an outrageous sum of money. And not the outrageous money B-Dubs uses to pay Keralis and Scar for being his backup.
Payment for bodyguarding for me, thank you very much.
I love it.
emeralds.
Royal emeralds. They're as good as diamonds. You can spend them, use them anywhere.
Useless.
What?
Nobody accepts them. Nobody.
They're forced to accept them under decree.
Meanwhile, at the cyber steampunk temple build, he's cramming a lot more detail into every corner, including a realistic conveyor belt and a terrarium for a pet rabbit he would feed lots of juicy carrots to if they'd only stop hopping themselves into an early grave.
Good. I think we're gonna make it. Dead. It died.
Impulse SV has a less flashy but more practical use for minecarts. Since the Soup Group is the primary resistance building against the monarchy, he establishes a messaging system between their bases, mostly so he can bug them with auto-playing audio messages.
Hello.
What is this? Hi. What you doing? It's great. You made a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah, I wanted to be able to send you a message, and I decided, since I was working in that area, that I could just, drop down, because you bone meal these and they go down.
You better clean up any shulker monsters you have lying around. It's a lot easier to bug you now. Okay, but seriously, this is pretty neat. Nice job.
He's barely got time to install the lobby of iBuy before he gets a return message, and the three of them listen in to a meeting between King Rendog and his newly appointed Master Marksman, who makes quick work of Impulse and manages to escape with only a totem trail blowing in the wind.
What?
Run!
No! Oh! Oh, one heart.
Get you one day.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, wait.
Oh, no, that's a totem. That's a totem. Oh, no.
He has a harder time escaping the point of Pearl's sword, and an even harder time escaping how much money he owes her. Pearl threatens to liquidate his assets if he doesn't pay up, but later she discovers the chest monster he's planted below her base landscape and escapes with the diamonds. And in the nick of time too, because she also starts to find royal emeralds appearing in the payment chests of her shops.
In the meantime, I'm just going to hope that Scar has actually done the right thing here and has actually paid me after all this time. All right. Oh gosh. No. What? Oh my gosh. What is that? Oh, it's a shulker monster.
Whatever mudslinging she needs to do in the direction of the crown will be supplied by her new mud farm, artfully disguised as a bulbous alien plant with a funky, lush garden interior. Gemini Tay is not far behind with her own, even if a little more regular, plant life. She even does some custom redstoning as well, and installs what is essentially an LED strip around the porch reinforcement of her keep. And though Mackenzie the wall lamp seems pretty happy with his new blinky hat, the server side may not be. We're fully expecting the next Redstone with Gem segments to be her learning what lighting updates are. And finally there's Doc M, who is also a victim of a flyby scarring, but is bent on revenge at an acute angle. Doc straight up challenges Scar to a duel, with the time to be determined, but a very specific place in mind.
So the duel is on, alright?
Yep, duel's on.
Okay, cool. Hey, now you're so nice again, but as soon as you're in the air with your bow, you become a vicious killer. For us hermits, it's not possible to keep up with all Hermitcraft episodes going on, right? You cannot, and I don't think he has any idea about the details of the arrow cannon.
Luckily, he can distract himself by setting up an iron farm at the Hall of Goat, during which he does a remarkable impression of the Element Animation villagers.
Here. Why are you doing this?
But before long, his sights are trained back on Scar's base, and Corrales drops by to egg him on as he plots to swap all Scar's theme park music discs with the Perimeter's national anthem, which I think makes it the rappiest place on Earth. And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixel Riffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.